What is up, and welcome to another episode of the Worship Based Coffee Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Soleil. Welcome in. We're in season 2, episode 4, and today's guest is Raul Alfonso. If you don't know that name, I'm sure you've heard the name Big Daddy Weave. I know that band. I have always been a huge fan of theirs, so it was really cool to have Raul on here, or Rowdy as they like to call him. And he even let me call him that. So I'm in. So just a word of warning here. Josh is not going to be in on this one. I know I heard all the sighs of disappointment. I was disappointed too. Josh is not going anywhere. He just happened to be out of town for this episode. He's not going anywhere. He has no choice. He's here for life. So Josh, you're here for life. So anyway, guys, I think you're going to really, really enjoy this episode. I know I did. And so, you know what? Let's just get to it. Hey, what is up? And you know what? I meant to ask you this ahead of time. Like, is it Raul?
Yeah, Raul.
Okay, Raul. Okay.
Dude, I've been called all kinds of stuff, Raul or Raul.
Well, I was trying to think, okay, would it be like saying Paul, but just adding an R instead of
Funny story, my Starbucks cup this past Sunday said Paul on it. I told my wife, Jamie, hey, that's my white name, Paul.
Which, hey, that's the Paul McCartney, right?
Oh, dude,
everybody wants
honored,
to be. Exactly. Dude. Well, dude, I'm so happy to have you come on the podcast. I had reached out to you a while back, and I was kind of waiting for, would keep seeing posts, you sharing being on tour. And so I was like, okay, well, I got to try and find that window of when I know he'll be home and we could get you in. But you were super pumped to come on. And so that just made me happy to have you on.
Dude, I'm honored, dude. Thank you so much. And this is a perfect week, actually. It's like probably the chillest week I've had in maybe 4 months.
Nice.
So this is perfect. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to be on here. So thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, I love it. I know Miguel, Miguel, you're listening out there. I know he's always listening.
Yes.
And
love that guy.
I know he's going to love it. So he showed me the posts of y'all getting to hang out.
Yes.
He came to see you guys. So
yeah, that was super
awesome.
Special. Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I always like to kick it off this way, just like I always say is, what does a typical week for you look like?
That's hard because every week looks, some weeks look similar, and then there's these weeks where, man, there's just all kinds of stuff. So typical week normally, if I'm on tour, we do with Big Daddy Weave, we do 5 days on, 10 days off, 5 days on, 10 days off.
Oh, nice.
So usually I'm bus call Wednesdays, flying to Nashville, hop on the bus Wednesday night, right? And then we do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, travel back home. And then I'm usually home for 10 days. And then just kind of rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
On the Mercy Me tour this spring, it was we were on their tour, so it was way more where our tour, since we got we're so spread out, we can do a tour for a spring tour for 3-4 months. But these guys like to knock it out, but we're on the road a lot more at once. And so that was different. But it was awesome, man. We love touring with Mercy Me. They're great guys, and we normally play bigger churches and stuff, so it was pretty neat getting to do the arenas and the sweet catering and all that. We love all that
the important stuff,
the
right?
important stuff for sure, dude.
So, I love that.
Yeah, and then when I'm home, man, they were kind enough. I'm really grateful for Life Church. They were kind enough to open up a spot for me whenever I'm home from tour. So I'm actually here in the green room at our church.
Nice.
I was telling you earlier, trying to do this at home with my dogs going crazy. It would just be a wreck. So yeah, when I'm home, I'm here on the weekends, and it's awesome because my wife and my girls are here all the time. So my wife sings on the worship team, and so it's not like I'm just going to, being away from them.
Right.
We just all go to church together.
Yeah.
And it's just what we do. We've done, my girls are little, Ellie and Olivia, they're little church rats since they're little, always around church and stuff.
I love it.
So yeah, it just varies. And then typically during the week, if I'm not on tour, I'm working on some kind of production or demos for the church, or actually just help with some of the, we're releasing a Christmas EP with Big Daddy Weave. So
nice.
they were kind enough to help me, to bring me in to help produce that. So that was super cool. So it's just all kinds of random stuff. And of course, like taking the girls to the pool, trying to, just be as present as much as I can. Cause man, those times are short.
Oh yeah.
And so, man, I just try to really, when I'm home, try to be home as much as I can,
And just out of curiosity, because I was trying to figure it out, where is home actually for you?
Yes, that's a good question. I live in Edmond, Oklahoma, which is just a suburb of OKC, Oklahoma City. I came here for college I graduated from Southern Nazarene University in 2010. And this is where I met my wife, and we got married, and then shortly after moved to Nashville. But that's a long story. We can get into that in a little bit. But but yeah, OKC's home. And I love it here. It's awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm fortunate that very thankful the guys are willing to fly me out to Nashville all the time and do that. So but I get to call here home, and I love it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things I love to find out, because that part of this is, for me anyway, are the stories, like just learning people's stories. Like, so how did you get into music?
Yeah. So I come from a big musical family. All my uncles play some kind of instrument. My aunt sang. So we grew up in the church, and so we were just around worship all the time. And how I got started playing bass was when my mom and dad started pastoring their church after my grandpa passed. It was just my mom on piano and my sister singing, and we didn't have a drummer, so I picked up the bass. And man, I remember it was like, started off with one of those like 4-string or like, it was an actual acoustic electric guitar. Just took the bottom 2 strings off and just turned up that little bass EQ up all the way, and just started doing that. And but actually before that, my introduction was my Uncle Ricky, which is like a hero of mine. He's an incredible bass player. Talk about feel, and just, man, I really looked up to him, and I still do. And he gave me an opportunity to play. He would record the songs on this camcorder, and then give me the VHS tapes to learn. And I would learn them during the week, and I would show him, and he's like, "Man, I think you're ready." And so he started giving me a shot, Nice. And man, I'm sure I sucked real bad, but he was so patient. He was so patient and just gave me an opportunity. And then, yeah, when my parents took over a different church, I took it a little bit more seriously, because it's like, okay, cool. Well, there's no, like, my Uncle Ricky's not here, so I got to step up. And yeah, nice. And just playing in church, taught myself how to slack, because we didn't have a drummer. So, it's like, well, I can add some kind of percussion. Dude, I'm
Nice.
sure I was just all over the place. But and that was really my introduction to music, and just growing up in the church for sure.
Yeah, I love that. It sounds like he kind of prepared you for making that, that move, and then for you to have the confidence, by being so patient with you, that kind of helped you to be able to go forward. So do you think that there was anything besides the need that specifically like drew you to the bass, or was it just like once you picked it up, you were just like, oh, this is just great? Or
it was 2 things for sure that come to mind. I know you want to prepare for these interviews, but I'm like, man, I just want to talk and just be the first thing that comes to mind. Just be really honest. Like, there was 2 things. I saw my Uncle Ricky in his leather jacket, and he just looked so cool. He had the hair.
That's awesome.
He just had this vibe to him, dude, that he was just It's just what do the young kids say now? He had like this aura or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was that, and it was the sound of like how the subs felt in the room when he came in. I'm like, oh man, that's super cool. Because it felt so empty without it. So when he came in, it's just like, it felt like a big hug in that room. And I was like, man, awesome. I want to do that. And then he was super melodic. He's like, he's kind of like the Latino Paul McCartney of worship, Spanish worship bass players. I love it. Yeah. And so, he was just always so inspiring and still is to this day.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So besides him, did you get to a point to where you were like trying to learn some songs, and were there any like bands or musicians that kind of inspired you?
Yeah. I mean, that was a era or stage in my life where, man, I put in a lot of practice because I loved it so much. And I got introduced to other bands. There was one in particular, Spanish pop artist named Luis Miguel, and he has incredible players. Check out a guy named Lalo Carrillo. These guys are just bro.
I know it's people that most people never know, and they're just like sharks.
Totally. And then another bass player from our church district named Philip Garcia took me under his wing. And that was like another level. And he was a pro, man. He was a jazz cat studying the fusion. He introduced me to Marcus Miller. And so I feel like from there, like it was a different level of like, he gave me the John Patitucci and Dave Wecko DVDs, like all of it.
Nice.
And so I really honed into that side of the craft, just more kind of laser focused, theory, jazz. It was, the Ken Smith sound, the real, that kind of vibe. And I did that for several years, and he really, really, man, he just took me to a whole different level, and I'm super grateful. I'll always thank him for that. Philip Garcia, incredible player, and taught me all about space, groove, how to sit against a click, a drummer. All of that stuff that I was really grateful. I was so young, like learning from this legend.
Right.
And so, man, Philip Garcia, big part of my growth for sure.
That's amazing. Did you, what about like bands? Were there any particular bands?
Yeah. And so at that time it was mostly worship, Spanish worship. And dude, it's not, no, I think worship music has evolved so much, and it's been beautiful the whole time. But in Spanish worship, man, it was back in the day. It was funky, dude. Like it's funky. It's dense, chordally dense too, and
right.
Especially in the Spanish world. I mean, I'm sure Miguel will tell you, like Marcos Witt, Marco Barrientos, Jesus Adrian Romero, like all those guys. And dude, they were all like kind of following the the stylings of this Luis Miguel guy who had all of these world-class musicians. And so, that was, I'm really thankful because I feel like that heart, I don't play that much of heart stuff anymore. I feel like all of that was like super early on. It's funny because worship now is just, it's evolved and it's more like tone centered and stuff, which is awesome. I love all that stuff too. I love nerding out on that. But back in the day, it was just really about, man, the play. Like they would tell me, well, can you play? I was like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? It's just, So, man, I'm grateful for that. Growing up in that era, in the Spanish worship scene, it kind of got my chops, a lot. If I hadn't gone through that, I don't know, maybe I would have gone down a different path. But I'm grateful because I think all of that stuff adds to you as a player, when you...
Oh, for sure.
And then I went through my eras later of, indie rock and different kinds of, like Led Zeppelin and, and the Beatles and, man, all the what do you call it? The Queen stuff, the stuff that I didn't really grow up like, because I didn't start playing rock until I was in college. And so I feel like I had a lot of catching up to do because I was so in this like Spanish worship world and pop art, you know, the jazzy stuff. Not even jazzy, just more fusion, just like spicy pop, I'll call it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah. Almost, to me, I feel like that cultural side of it is almost kind of infused with like Black gospel-ish,
totally,
you know, type, you know, like Sunday services, except like you said, it is even more on a different level as far as that. Like it really is almost like a fusion.
Totally.
Because I've heard some stuff before, and Miguel has shared with me some stuff, and I've been like listening to it and going, wow, that's way out of my league. So
if I try to play that stuff cool, now, though. It'd be real cute.
Right. That's when you'd be just like trying to just hit the root notes and stay right.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So you kind of talked about like some of your first experiences, like serving in a church. Did that become like a pretty normal thing to where then from there on, you know, almost every Sunday you were serving?
Yeah. Since I was, so I started playing bass when I was 11. And so that's when I started playing worship music, Spanish worship music.
Right.
And then, you know, once I got to college, I really focused on, I kind of somehow barely got in, but they gave me a scholarship on upright bass for,
amazing,
which was awesome. You know, so I really dug into upright in college and, you know, started playing more jazz and, classical, you know, with arco and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, cause I started playing, an orchestra when I was in middle school. So that was really helpful. I'm thankful that my parents and my grandpa, you know, my grandpa gave me a violin when I was super young, but it just feels so small. And I was like, oh, well, let me try the cello. I think that would be, but there's nobody playing the upright, the double bass, right? So, you know, jumped on that and I loved it. You know, it was definitely taller than me. I'm a little Mexican guy, you know, I'm like 5'4". So that thing was always taller than me, you know?
Right.
But dude, it was awesome, man. I feel like it really got my finger strength. Going for sure. And then I took a little bit more seriously when I got into college. And had an amazing teacher named Don Monday who really taught me like just took me a level deeper into jazz too. And I wouldn't even consider myself a jazz player, but I'm thankful that, you know, I could get by,
right.
You know, sitting in on a jazz gig, thankful for all the, you know, the people that poured into me early on. And so, so in college, we would drive by, me and my friend Dave, best friend, Life Church. And we're like, man, it'd be cool to play there one day, you know, it'd be so awesome. But back in the day, it was only 5 campuses, dude. They just launched their 46th, which is crazy. But it was only 5 back then. So, dude, like, it was only the top of the top players back then who could play at Life Church. It's like, you can count them on one hand, like the guys.
Right.
You know? And, you know, so we always drive by on our way to McDonald's, pick up a double cheeseburger, right? You know, man, it'd be so sick to play there. And we said that for months, you know, but I've always kind of had like a confidence thing, man. And it's gotten better. We're like, no, we're not good enough, or I'm not good enough. You should definitely go, cause you're amazing. He's one of the most gifted musicians ever. And dude, it's funny. Cause like, yeah, you should definitely go. And yeah. And then you get me in and that'll be awesome. You know, whatever. But dude, like, so long story. I won't drag this on too long, but like we were playing at this small, Baptist church on their Wednesday, for their Wednesday youth service. And we found out that the pastor there, his son was one of the worship pastors at Life Church.
No way.
And so it's like, oh, I have an idea. Like, Dave, all right, here's what we're going to do. All right, I'm not scared no more. We're going to go up there and we're going to say, man, we play at your dad's church. If you ever need a sub, you know, let us we
Heck
can,
yeah.
we can do it, So dude, it's like, all right, we left our McDonald's bag in the car. We're going in there, He's like, oh, are you sure? It's like, all right, let's go. And so we knock and dude, we're expecting to see a guy named Adam there, and tell him the whole thing. But it was another guy named Andy. He was like, hey, we're looking for Adam Ivy. He's like, oh, he doesn't work here anymore.
Oh no.
But my name's Andy. What's your name? It's like, oh, my name's Raul, and this is my friend Dave. And yeah, dude, I think I just kind of stayed quiet while I processed. It was so awkward, dude. It's like, well, to be honest, we drive by here all the time, and man, we love what you guys are doing, and it would be an honor to play here one day. And he's like, oh yeah, well, like, what do you play? It's like, oh, I play bass. My friend Dave plays keys. And he's like, well, do you got anything you can show? Do you have any music? It's like, well, we are in a band. We were in a indie rock band called Sundry at the time.
Nice.
And so we're like, well, let me pull up MySpace real quick and I'll show you.
Nice.
Dude, it shows how old we are, right?
Yes. The fact that I immediately knew what MySpace was totally. And how you had music on there.
Remember Tom? Yeah, dude. Tom was up there.
Yes.
But dude, yeah. So we pulled up one of our songs on, called The Hook on there, and he listened to it. Oh man, this is cool. This is awesome. All right, cool. Well, yeah, well, I'll let you know.
Oh no.
He's like, well, I'll let you know if I need anyone. And it was so nice to meet you. You guys seem like good dudes. And so, man, you guys have a great day. Okay, cool. Awesome. I was like, well, can't win them all, Dave, whatever. We just, we just go back to McDonald's or whatever and figure out what we're
right.
Dude, crazy story. The next weekend, Dave gets a call. He's like, hey, I'm really needing a keys player for Wednesday or for this weekend. Any chance you're available and can play? And Dave's like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. And then he let me know, and he was like, well, he called me and I'm going to go play. He was kind of like, he was happy.
You're like, good.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Yeah, must be nice or whatever. No. It's always been love seeing my friends win. And so the cool thing, bro, again, not to drag this on super long, but he's absolutely incredible musician. So of course he killed it. I get a call the next Tuesday, and he's like, hey, like, I need a bass player for this Wednesday for Switch. It's their youth thing. And if you're friends with Dave, you must be pretty good too. Can you play?
Nice.
And so, dude, like, it's like, yes, absolutely. I'd be honored to. And so, play the event on Wednesday, and afterwards he pulls me aside. He's like, hey, do you want to be my bass player? I'm like, what? It turns out he didn't really jive with the guys who were there beforehand, and I don't know, it didn't work out, but he was looking for a whole new band.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And that's how me and Dave got in. It's a crazy story. And I've been part of Live Church ever since. That was in early fall of 2008.
Amazing.
2008. Yeah. And so, but dude, like, yeah. So, man, it was amazing. Like, oh, you get to do this every weekend, and playing to a click, that was new too. And that was really, man, that was so good. Like, I feel like my time is pretty decent now because of all of these decades now of just playing to a click and really, really not hard songs, but like being able to, man, me and Dave had this game where it's like at the end of the weekend, we text each other how many times we messed up, and the goal was always 0. And that's hard, right. But we set a really high standard, and it was in all. We didn't, some weekend it was like 4 or whatever. It's like, dang, it sucked. But dude, like it was honestly really good because we got to really focus in on the little details of feel, of time, of playing with the restraint, listening, being a part of, knowing our roles, and so we had a lot of reps to figure things out. But man, that was a man. I look back on that, and if I hadn't taken we hadn't taken that step, and like we're just gonna do it. Worst thing they could say is no, Dave. And so we just went up there, and it's amazing how just taking a step of action, man, how God can use that even in ways that you wouldn't think. And then, dude, like after a few years of being at Life Church, Andy, the worship pastor there, he got signed, and he moved to Nashville. And I'm like, man, that sucks, but I'm really happy for him. And so we had a new guy, long story, had a new guy come in, and I guess he had his own guys he wanted to bring in and let us all go. He let the whole band go.
Oh, dang.
Like, oh, crap. What are we going to do? Because I was like at that time was a big part of our income.
And outlet too.
And outlet, yeah, dude. Even just like, man, you can find your identity and all that, and just to feel like, man, you're worthless and all this, and like what, because it's like, what did we do wrong? I mean, and it's, but I'll get into kind of what happened after that, and dude, this was in I forgot what year. Anyways, he let us go, and we're trying to figure out what to do, and I'm praying like, Lord, what's next? And in that time, I met my wife and then got married. But I told her, ahead of time, it's like, man, I really want to tour. Are you sure you want to do this? Like, I love you, but I mean, I've had these dreams of touring, like in a Christian environment with a Christian artist.
Yeah.
My whole life since I was a kid. And man, I would love for you to support me in that. And she said yes. And so, I was like, all right, let's seal the deal. And we got married. And I ended up moving to Nashville like 2 weeks after getting married. And we both went out there. Yeah. Because I'm like, Andy's like, just come out here, come out here. I think it's the right thing. And I'll look out for you. And I mean, I hopefully I can take you on tour with me. And so, dude, I got to Nashville, and that tour I was supposed to go on with him fell through.
Oh, no.
Like, oh, crap. What do I do? Like, I just got married. Man, we got bills. We're living in Nashville. We're living in this apartment in Berry Hill. At the time, it was like $500 a month. That same apartment now is like $1,600 a month for one bedroom. It's nuts.
Easily. Yeah. Berry Hills like definitely become that, very trendy area of Nashville now too.
Totally. Dude, so we, we're like, what are we going to do? And man, it was hard. I found this job. Man, I submitted like 20 applications. Nobody wanted to hire me for whatever reason. And I'm like, because I guess all I had on there was like, man, in college I drove for Domino's and played music and played gigs and played at Life Church. It's like, man, I didn't really have any kind of real work experience. Yeah.
Which you'd think in Nashville, it would be pretty common. You know what I mean? Like everybody's music stuff.
Yeah, totally, dude. So yeah, we got there in 2010, and then immediately there's a big flood that happened in Nashville. I don't know if you remember that.
Right. Yeah. I was here.
Yep. So I'm like, well, so Lord, did we make the wrong, like, did I hear you wrong? Or, because we prayed a lot about the move out to Nashville, and tour fell through, but I found a job, and they called me Craigslist. And, that was probably a red flag finding that job on Craigslist, but it's like, all right, it's something. But dude, we would meet in this little office in Broadway, and we'd hop in a van. It's like 8 of us, and we get dropped off in neighborhoods, and we were selling security systems, going door to door, like from 9 a.m. to like sometimes 9 p.m. And dude, and we just get dropped off in the heat. We got to, figure out lunch. There's some days I didn't even eat because, man, it was life was tough.
Yeah.
And then we, it didn't pay great. So we could sell the top security system, and if their credit was below 600, we would get maybe an eighth of that payout. So, man, there was like weeks where I didn't make anything, bro. Like it was really, really hard.
That's crazy.
Months and months of doing that, I was drained. But dude, it kind of lit a fire under me, because when I got home, and man, I kind of regret it, because I should have been a better husband at the time. But it was that the other side of me where I'm like, I was still so young too, figuring life out. And I'm like, I don't want my wife to go through this forever. So, man, I'm going to put in the work. And dude, so after I would get home, I would, literally practice like 8 hours sometimes a day.
Wow.
Going into the night, waking up early again, and door to door. And we didn't have AirPods back then where I can just walk around the neighborhood. Dude, it was a lot of praying, and it was like Lord, like help me out. Really, really tough season, financially, and just like, man, what am I doing? So dude, I did that job for like 6 months. It was tough.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, and finally something, Andy got a call. Dude, I'm going on tour with Big Daddy Weave. And I worked it out. It was tough, but I would love for you to come on this with me. We have an extra bunk, and it would just be me and you and tracks. So, which funny enough, in CCM, like bass is the first thing to get cut nowadays, unless you're, headlining or something. You see a lot in CCM nowadays. You see a lot of bass in the tracks.
Yeah,
which is sad
for sure.
I know. But back in the day, dude. So I'm grateful, because it was him singing, me on bass, and all the tracks from the record. But dude, Andy really, man, he loved the stuff that was on the record. Man, there was some amazing players on that. But he's like, I just want you to be you. Just be you, Rowdy. All my closest friends call me Rowdy. So
I love
he's like
it.
Rowdy. He's like Rowdy. And it's funny because I don't even think I'm rowdy, but maybe I think that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
But dude, it was that tour. Man, I was like the little kid, just figuring my place, figuring things out. But dude, I met Big Daddy Weave on that tour in 2010.
Amazing.
And I hit it off with J-Dog, which, rest in peace, he passed in January 2nd of 22. But he's probably the one person in my life who's had the biggest impact on me in so many different ways. He had a huge impact on me spiritually on the road. And he spoken to me. He spoke to me in ways that I'd never been spoken to before. And I felt like it was straight from the Lord. Encouraged me. He listened. As I told you, things were rough. And dude, sometimes like rent didn't get paid on time. And somehow he just knew. I didn't share any of that, but somehow he just knew. And one time he's like, hey, the Lord told me to give you this. It was the exact amount that I needed for rent. I'm like, how did you? And dude, like, he was just the most generous guy I've ever met. A heart for the Lord like I've never seen before. And just the baddest bass player. He was so good. Like, he was so gifted in so many areas. But what I remember is just always the way he made me feel. Because man, you can be an incredible bass player, and have incredible influence. But if you don't treat people right, if you just, that stuff matters, dude. The way you treat people. And I remember the way he treated me, it made me feel. He made me feel valued and loved, and like I was a part of this. When I was just a little Mexican guy trying to, I was so young. And we kind of had similar styles back then. And so, man, we would trade licks. He's like, show me that lick you did. And I was like, well, show me yours. And so we backstage trading licks and all that. I mean, and it was, man, I learned so much from just watching him. And so, man, I'm really grateful that I got to go on that tour in 2010 and meet those guys. And dude, we just kept in touch over all these years. And this is only the Lord, but who would have thought 11 years later,
right,
I would have the chance to play with Big Daddy Weave, it was kind of a dream that I kind of let go of. And I'm like, man, Lord, this would be an incredible,
right,
in the right situation. Like even just to fill in for, a hero of mine. And unfortunately, the circumstances were really tough. I was working as an MD in California at a big church there. And man, we had built an amazing team at that time. And I heard from our front of house guy, Grundy, because we kept in touch over every time they would come. I'd go see them. And so we kept in touch. We kept that relationship over a whole decade. And he told me about Jay's health because Jay never talked about himself. And he shared that things were tough and their mom had just passed. And man, he had like diabetes and something else they couldn't figure out. I mean, shortly before that, they had to amputate his feet in order for him to stay alive. So he was hurting bad.
Yeah.
And so when I found out, I told him, hey, dude, I love you. And I'm here if you need me. I built a team here where I can schedule myself out and come do this for you if you need to stay home because this was during the summer and festivals are tough.
Right.
The bus, doing the bus thing is a little easier. But, in his condition, he was doing dialysis on the bus and all that. And, having to have a wheelchair. And so I was telling him, bro, if you need some relief and need to stay home for doctor's appointments or whatever it is during the summer, let me know and I can schedule myself out and come do this for you if you need me. And he took me up on that. I reached out to him and Mike, and Mike is our lead singer, and they were so grateful. And so I stepped in, and it was July 4th of 21. It was the first time I played and filled in for J-Dog. And unfortunately, he never came back on the road after that. But he was able to spend the last 6 months with his family.
That's great.
Unfortunately, that was tough because that was like around the time of like all the COVID craziness, the pandemic.
Sure.
And so, I mean, his immune system was already so compromised.
Right.
During all that. And so, but yeah, he never came back on the road after that. And that was really tough. It was bittersweet for sure. So I've been with the guys ever since, and they've become my family. They're my brothers. They've carried me through. I mean, J-Dog, and he's like, after that first show, he's like, he called me. He's like, hey, Rowdy, got a minute? He's like, the Lord gave me this vision of this table, like at a feast. And he told me that I just have to learn how to sit at it. And so would you pray about covering the rest of the year for me? So I can sit. And it's like, well, let me pray about this for sure. Let me talk to my wife and my boss at the time, because I do work at a church. And long story short, I got the green light from my wife. I got the green light from our leadership at church. And it was after, they seen me. I was able to be pretty responsible during the whole pandemic season. So they, I built some trust there with them, and they let me do it. And so,
nice.
Yeah, that was a blessing. And as some, I look back at that, that season. J-Dog would call me before every show and tell me what the Lord is telling him. Like, this is what the Lord's showing me for tonight. There's going to be a guy named, man, he would have these specific names. Look out for him. And you can pray for him. And he's dealing with this. Bro, he had such an incredible connection with Jesus. And it was always about Jesus for him. Always. Like, and that's really what I aspire to. to keep it about Jesus, because it can be so distracting out there. You can, and the enemy's so good about making it about everything other than Jesus sometimes.
Sure.
Right.
Yes.
So, man, just looking back at his testimony, it was, man, he bore good fruit. He lived it. There was so many times where I would go on tours with other bands and stuff, and I always felt like distant from the Lord coming back from that. With Big Daddy Weave, since the start, I always felt like coming back from a tour run, like I felt closer to Jesus. Every time I got off the phone with J-Dog, I felt closer to Jesus. I'm like, awesome. Man, this is real. This is awesome. And yeah, you're a killer bass player, but bro, like, you live and breathe Jesus, and I want to be like that. So,
which shows that you were right where you were meant to be.
Totally, dude. Yeah. And man, it's been such a blessing. Of course, I don't live in California anymore. It's just, man, it's tough to do the full-time AMD thing and traveling. So we decided to move back to OKC, and it was healthier for our family.
Yeah.
And
so between when you had kind of gone out on tour with your friend, which was, with Big Daddy, like between that and then the time you actually went on tour with them, like as their bassist, kind of what happened there? Like, how did you end up in California, and how did that all? You got me intrigued now.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot happened then. Man, this could be we're gonna honor the time, but man, we could.
You're good.
When I go to Nashville, we'll get some coffee, and I'll go more into detail and stuff. But yeah, dude, like, I was only in Nashville for a year. Things after that tour, man, that was like the most life-giving tour. I felt like, oh, I think I can do this. Like, but then I went back to selling the security systems and drained the life out of me again. Now I got to wait for another tour to hopefully pop up, and
right.
I didn't have really much community there. That was tough, because I mean, I tell guys, just find community wherever you go. That's so important. And then, financially, things were really tough. And then, dude, we come home for Christmas to OKC, because my wife's family's from here and everything. And I'd spend a lot of time here, in the local musician scene. With the college thing opened up a lot of doors, and Life Church, and so started doing session work and all that. And it's like, man, Oklahoma, even though I'm from San Antonio, Oklahoma feels like home, And so we came back here, and I'll tell you how I got on Twitter when we were visiting for Christmas, to be with the family. And I did a little Twitter post, and I'm like, I'm in OKC, where the tamales at, because in Nashville, man, you couldn't find no tamales anywhere, There was one little spot if you in like Nolensville Road or something.
Yeah. Yep.
But really not the way like I grew up, Now you can't, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, then, Texas, it's totally different.
Totally. So we were back in OKC, and dude, he's the head of worship now, JT Murrow. He saw my Twitter. It was like, and he responded at like 3:30 in the morning. I didn't even know he knew who I was. But he was a worship pastor at the time. He was transitioning from the Southside campus to the main campus where Pastor Craig speaks out of at the time. Now he's here at Edmond campus.
Okay.
Just down there. And so he responded to my Twitter. He's like, I don't know where the tamales are at, but like, bro, he's like, crazy idea, but can you meet me tomorrow at a certain time at the Southside campus? The Lord put you on my heart. And so we met, and dude, he sat down with me. He's like, I don't know why, but I feel like you're supposed to be the bass player for me at the main campus at Life Church. would you guys consider moving back? And I mentioned it to my wife, and dude, she had even harder time finding community. And, you know, we had just gotten married. There's another part of the story. Her dad had just passed away just a few months before we got married. So she was dealing with a lot of grief. And newlyweds are figuring things out, and I'm gone.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
And so we prayed about it. My wife, before that, she's like, hold on, you get paid? It's just like, because I didn't make a ton of a Big Daddy Weave thing. It was more of an experience thing, right? I was like making something off merch or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, hold on, you would get paid like consistently every week? I'm like, that's what he said. So he's like, absolutely. And she missed her family too and all that. And so, dude, like within a week and a half, we sublet our apartment. We moved back and got, you know, plugged in at Life Church. My wife started singing. It's incredible. She's an incredibly gifted singer too, worship leader. And we just started doing church together for several years and really sunk our teeth. And I mean, I started playing. They started asking me to do these sessions. Like, there's a thing before multi-tracks. There was a thing called Christian World, and a group, the music group studios here in town, handled all that. So they had like 12 songs a month. I think it was like Southern gospel, the hip hop, the straight up CCM, the more worship stuff. And so, dude, it was very all over the place stylistically, like Black gospel, Southern gospel,
right?
CCM, all kinds of stuff. I remember, and so, dude, I got involved doing that after being at the main campus, because that's the organ player is the studio owner, and he's like, "Man, I think you'd be good at this." And so, dude, it's 12 songs a month, but you gotta play them exactly, dude. So I'm over here every month, like, I don't know. I just said yes, dude. And I'm like, I had one bass. I had my Apollo. And I'm like, I'll figure this out. I just got to say yes. And so he gave me one song, and he's like, okay, next month. He's like, can you do two? Like, a couple months in, he's like, can you do all of it? And bro, I will say the amount of work on some of the Black gospel stuff, I would have to take it like a bar at a time sometimes. And like, I didn't have a way to slow it down, so I just had to keep replaying it. And
wow.
And so, dude, I'm learning all this like Terrence Palmer lines, and you know, when Justin Raines was coming up, like having to learn all that stuff. and one of the songs too was like which is funny. I played on Redeemed back then, which is like Big Daddy Weave's biggest song. I remember recording it for the Christian World tracks. Crazy the way the Lord works. But dude, like, man, that was such a, you know, from Nashville, all those hours of putting practice in, and it's like, I'm not gonna suck. I'm gonna get better. And then, you know, getting thrown into doing all the studio stuff and really transcribing lines note for, because he was a stickler. It has to be note for note on everything. So
that's incredible.
You know, and you know, especially that Southern, you know, I'd gotten familiar with some of the Black gospel walking, but then there's the Southern gospel walking, which is a whole different thing.
Right.
You know? And so, dude, like, it was so much work. My wife's like, you're killing yourself. Why are you doing this? Like, it's part of it. It's going to pay off one day. Yes. I promise, you know. And then after that went, you know, I did that for like 2 years, and then it went away. Because then all their companies started coming up, and so that fizzled out. But I started getting called up for session work, and I remember there was a Sandy Patty session, and
amazing.
Pat Malone was the guy. They brought him in from Atlanta, and I would come watch him do his thing in the studio. He's so good. He's just studio cat. All Nashville guys, and so they were kind enough to like let me kind of be around and soak it in, and I really wanted to, you know, because it's like, man, I'm not around these kind of guys all the time,
right?
Being in OKC, so it was it was one of those situations that I'm really grateful. But then this opportunity came up where Pat Malone didn't make it. Something came up, and he's like, "All right, Rowdy, can you step up, bro?" And this was another one of those hard lessons where I never read I hadn't got to the Nashville number chart system yet.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Thank you. But dude, I'm like terrified. I'd never done anything. And so I get in the booth and all the other session Nashville guys are there. And all right, there's this country song we're doing, Sandy Patty, or, Christian country. And it's in G flat. And it has all the numbers possible, dude. You're talking about flat sixes and dude, and G flat, dog. Like, that's crazy. It was
having to play them on the fly.
Never read a number chart in my life. I've always had like a pretty decent like ear of being able to okay, if I hear it a few times.
Right.
So I was really hanging on to it because it's funny because when people look at my charts, it's like, man, it looks like algebra or whatever. But dude, that's exactly how I saw it when I first saw it in my stand, and like, okay, go. I fell flat on my face, dude. Like, it was one of the most embarrassing moments. I couldn't get through. They had to stop every few minutes. It's like, let's pick that up again. Are you okay? And I'm like, dude, and it's one of those things where you just feel everything sinking in and you're on the spot.
Yes. You can feel your blood pressure going up.
Oh yeah, totally. Dude, man, I haven't. So that dude, but it's all part of the growth, right?
Oh, for sure.
But I went home and dude, I think I cried. I remember it's like, man, I'm just not cut out for this. And I kind of want to just give up. I was like, but the producer called me the next morning. And he's like, yeah, I've heard you play. Can you come back in today? Just you and me, and give it another shot. And at this point, it's like, don't worry about the chart right now. And it's cool because I had already learned it from all the times I heard I had messed up. But he's like, you got to get out of your head. Just play. Like, what's here, I want.
Right.
Like it's get out of here and just play. Cause I know how you play. Cause he heard me at church and stuff.
Right.
And dude, Chris Frills, he gave me another chance. And after the first pass, he's like, that was it. He's like, do we need to punch? No, it's like, no, that was it. He's like, you got to learn how to get out of your head and play, and don't try to earn it. Like, I wouldn't have called you if I didn't think you could. And so, dude, that was it. Man, I owe so much to the music group and the guys there that really were really patient with me and gave me a shot to, and just fall flat on my face and then pick me back up. And like, no, we believe in you. You got this. And from there on, I started getting calls for more sessions and more.
Nice.
And they stopped calling Pat for some of it. And it's just like, all right, and listen, I know, like, I'm doing this all the time consistently. And
that was in
OKC.
OKC, yeah.
Yeah, in Oklahoma City. And so I did a lot of that. And then we took a little life church break, and then my wife got hired as a worship pastor at a church in California.
Oh,
and I'm like, this is awesome. You've supported me all these years. I'm going to support you. We'll go out there. And we went out there, and there was really no position for me. I mean, they had me play every few weekends there. And so I would just kind of stay home and make beats and do that kind of stuff while she worked and stuff. And
that's awesome.
And so, I did the thing there, and then there was a big team shift or mass exodus that happened. And they're like, hey, we think you'd be a great MD for our church. I'm like, I've never done anything like that, but I'll pray about it. And so stepped into that, and some of the most beautiful years of ministry I've ever been a part of. And
Amazing.
then, a few years after that, that's when now catching you back up with the Big Daddy Weave thing. And here we are. I think this July was 5 years with Big Daddy Weave.
That's awesome. I love that.
So a lot happened during there. Yeah.
Yeah. So how, like, let's just say, because I'm sure like springtime is usually when tours kind of kick off for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
How does like just say a tour work? So in other words, like just for everybody out there, like, okay, hey, they've messaged you and said, we're going to be doing a spring tour. This is what it's going to be. And do they like send you songs and like, okay, this is probably what songs we're going to be doing for this tour? Like, I'm just curious how that works.
Yeah, it varies. Big Daddy Weave's, they're awesome. They've been doing it for so long though, that man, what I've noticed is they don't like to rehearse too much. So it's just kind of like, sometimes we're figuring things out in rehearsals, and just so
like pre-show rehearsals.
Kind of, yeah. And then we kind of, dial it in at rehearsals, and then, the first few shows, we're still trying to dial things in. We've gotten better though. We send sets, Mike sets the set list out and gives us, a few weeks to prep for tour rehearsals, and then we're still dial some things in. And sometimes I get to play with the opener artist or direct support, and they'll send stuff out ahead of time too for me to learn. We'll tighten it up at tour rehearsals. So yeah, it just depends. But that's kind of the idea of
yeah. I was just curious, like, as far as that whole preparation, side for you, how that
involved. At first it was hard, dude, because it's like I kind of had to learn almost their whole main catalog in a way, just to be ready.
Yeah,
because Mike would just call songs out. Yeah,
I love it.
And so I just kind of had a whole bunch of songs learned, and at the beginning I would have my little iPad on the floor just to make sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't. When bass messes up, you can tell.
Yes. I actually years ago I saw some kind of, there's always these scientific studies or whatever that drop out. You always see them. It's like a new study about this, new study about that. But I remember specifically this study came out, and it talked about how the human ear and how it hears, and it says that it can actually detect when bass notes are wrong first before
totally.
Like guitar or keys or anything like that. There's something to do with the frequency. I was like, and I remember reading that going, oh, great.
Probably it's called bass for a reason,
Yeah. We're the cool guy that sits in the back. We just want to be felt and not seen, know?
Totally. So, yeah, I mean, I've had my cute moments for sure, but I found that, when I took a lesson from Shea Wooten, who's one of my favorites in the worship circle. And this helped me out because I was we did the first live recording we did for Life Church a couple years ago, like big one. We brought Aaron Robertson in to produce it, and I was just so nervous. Like, man, how do you? I've been doing this for a long time, but man, I'm still getting nervous on these live recordings. I just don't want to miss. He's like, man, I'm not scared to have like, little notes here and there on the floor if I need to on songs. I was like, oh, if he ain't scared, well, I ain't scared no more. So I still try to memorize stuff, but now I'm like, I give myself a little grace if I need to have a little chord reminder on the floor or something, where it'll just give me a peace of mind. It's like, all right, cool. Because sometimes, man, bass can kind of derail. I mean, the whole chord sits on it. So, Yeah, especially with some of the like the opener artists and stuff. I'll probably have my little notes on them, at least for the first few shows, and
and then they'll just lock in.
Yeah. After the first week, we're good. Yeah,
that's awesome. So you've kind of shared a little bit about some of your, missteps, so to speak, but like when you've played live, how do you feel like you grew and were able to like handle mistakes? Because I always like for people to share that, just because I think it's great for people to hear, hey, everybody makes mistakes, and it's just how you kind of move through those.
Yeah, that's a great question. Man, mistakes I think they're unavoidable. At some point, I don't care how good you are, you're gonna make a mistake. But it's how you recover from it. Because I mean, there's a difference between me and you. You're playing, you're grooving, you mess up, right? Man, you got to keep going. I've seen some guys who's just like, or that early, especially when they're first starting. Sometimes I just stop playing or something, and it's like, oh, I didn't actually notice the wrong note, but I did notice you not playing,
dropping out.
It's just like, no, just keep going, just like in life, right? Like if I hadn't moved, if I hadn't taken that step to move to Nashville, I would never met Make Daddy Weed. You know what I'm saying? It's like when some people say like, dude, it's like, you got amazing situations, like must be nice or whatever. That's kind of a Mexican thing. You just like, you never proper anybody. You're just like, must be nice or whatever. But man, that kind of rubs me the wrong way though, because it's like, bro, you don't really know what it took. You don't really, you really know the pain and stuff. The nights of just almost quitting.
And the not going door to door selling.
Exactly. Dude, I got kicked off the porch by a lady. There wasn't a lot of Mexicans back then too. So man, I was just profile for sure.
Yelled at all that stuff.
Dude, but man, I'm so grateful though. Right. I mean, some of the suffering, man, like sometimes I don't know, we suffer enough, because it does build you. It does build character. It does help you remember that, man, you can't do it on your own. You got to depend on the Lord.
Yes.
That dependency on God. I don't think so many times that we know what full dependency on God is. And so, so the mistakes are, man, there's some weekends where what I heard in my head didn't fully come. I was like, all right, well, I'll get on the next one,
Yeah.
And sure, as you mature and all that, you're like, you get to a certain point and those mistakes become less and less, but they're still going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's how you keep going, sometimes, and I had to learn this early on. I would be so hard on myself. I mean, I was telling my friend Dave, like, oh, well, we're great ourselves,
Yeah.
and dude, I would just, if I messed up one time the whole week, and we're talking about 8 services.
Wow.
And so if I messed up one time out of all of those 8 services, dude, I'd feel like a failure sometimes. I don't know why, but I've always kind of, and I see it in my daughter too, as she's learning piano right now. It's too hard on yourself,
right.
It's just like,
it's a little bit of like perfectionist.
Totally.
It's hard to kind of,
totally. Man, and I'm a people pleaser. I've gotten better at that, but like you don't want to let anybody down. And I feel like, man, that one note let everybody down. It's like, how could I?
Right.
Thankfully, you mature over the years and you learn to just let things go. And it's not about me,
Right.
It's not about me because it can become about you. And that's, I think that's normal, to some extent, because the other side of really caring and the excellence. And while excellence is amazing, we all got to strive for it,
right,
every day in every area. But it's how you get back up. Okay,
right.
It's how you get back up. How's my attitude going to be in the green room after messing up? Am I going to make it about me? Am I going to just kind of be frowning all weekend? Cause it's like, no, stop being selfish. engage with the groups. Ask people how their weekend, what you eat last night. You know, how can I pray for you? Like, there's more to it than the mistakes.
Yes.
And we all grow in that. We can, you know, we all relate a lot better in our weaknesses, I believe. You know?
Right.
So,
yeah, it's one of those things where and that's one of the reasons why I like for people to get to kind of share that, is because I feel like when we, as bassists, when we can say, oh, well, you know, both of them have shared about how they've made mistakes. Well, when I do, then I feel less like it's the end of the world, you know?
Yeah.
And the same thing happens on stage. I can't tell you, you know, how many times where I've been playing and I've looked over and somebody else has, you know, made a mistake, and they'll kind of look at me, you know, side eye, and, you know, we'll kind of laugh about it later, not in a, like, you're laughing at them, but just kind of like, hey, just laugh it off and keep going kind of thing.
In Big Daddy Whoop, that's what we do. We just, you start laughing up there.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Like, oopsie. So do you have any like over the years that you've toured with them, like a standout moment from your tour that you can think of that like is maybe a particular show that you played where, I don't know, and maybe not necessarily just the venue, but just the show itself?
Yeah, there's been some really special ones. They flew us out to Paris a few years ago for New Year's, and they paid for all our families to go. And we played like a 30-minute service for their New Year's service. Yeah, 30-minute slot for their New Year's service, and they made a big deal out of it. Dude, so many, like, there's so much joy in that room. And dude, the band, the house worship band was killing. Like, they were better than we were. And I'm like, we didn't even want to play. I was like, why'd y'all, bro? And that was, but man, that was such a beautiful experience because they were just so loving and kind and made us feel like so welcomed. And I think they're like a little behind the US and like what hits radio and stuff. So it's like some of those Big Daddy Weep songs meant a lot to them. And
that's amazing.
And the way Mike ministers in such a, man, just like his brother, it's Jesus first. Sometimes he didn't even want to do his own songs. It's like, man, I just want to see the Lord moves. And so sometimes we just play worship songs.
I love it.
And so, dude, it all comes back to Jesus. And man, I just felt like in that room during Paris, all our families are there. We're bringing in the new year.
Yeah.
We're just, you know, I'm inspired by the musicians there. They just, man, they treated us so well. And our families got to see that, and we got to make a little family vacation out of it. So
amazing.
You know, they brought us in like 3 days before, paid for us to be there 3 days after. They set us up in like downtown Paris right there, and then we went to London after a few days and explored that. And so that, man, that was a big blessing. J-Dog did tell me, it's like, man, you're gonna see incredible blessing being a part of this, but you're also gonna see some of the hardest trials, because the enemy hates what you're doing. The enemy hates the ministry side of things. The enemy hates the difference, that whenever, I mean, it's just the enemy hates what we're doing. Any time that we proclaim the name of Jesus, every time that we get up there and share the goodness of God, right? And I've seen that, dude. Like, and you know, I won't share on this podcast, but man, there's been some really, really trying times since I've joined the band. But it's amazing to see. And J-Dog told me, you know, it's gonna come because the enemy hates what you're doing. But God is so much more faithful, and He's gonna carry you through every season.
Right.
And He has, dude, and He's been faithful. And man, I'm living in the season that I always prayed for. And I'm just so grateful because it's only Jesus. That's it. That's
amazing. It's so cool to and refreshing to hear, because, you know, especially being here in Nashville, all the like Christian bands that are out there, sometimes you don't really know how Christian that they actually are. And so like hearing you share some of that stuff about them and where their heart is, where they're like have a show that they were like, you know what, forget it. I don't even want to sing any of our songs. Let's just praise God's name. You know, that's just refreshing to hear about some of the band. Cause you know, you get into a whole thing of, it's a business too, you know, and that whole side, but it's refreshing to hear of bands like that are out there that are still like, man, I just want to proclaim Jesus's name, you know?
Yeah. They walk the walk, man. That's for sure. And
I love that
matters, man. Like,
yeah,
it really does. And I think that's why I'm still in it. Cause man, it's tough being away from your family. The road life isn't as glamorous as it seems.
Right.
And man, it can be really, really tough. But when it's tied to purpose, you know, like you're leaving your family, but you're going out for something has purpose, that's driving the kingdom forward.
Right.
And so I feel really good about, okay, Lord, thank you, you know, and it really, I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know how long, but dude, after everything I've seen, we have a song that's funny. I've just seen too much, but it's true. Like I've just seen too much of God's goodness, of his faithfulness, to not, right? Like,
right,
man. So as long as I think if you ever come to Big Daddy Weave show, it's not like all, you know, glamorous and sexy. Dude, it's like it's church on wheels, man.
That's awesome.
It's church on wheels. And dude, we just want to see the Lord move and have fun doing it. And we love each other. You know, it's been, the guys have gone through some trying seasons, and it's been amazing to see. We have a guy named Nate Smith, who's actually our tour pastor, and he's come, he joined the band a couple of years ago. He plays acoustic, and dude, having a tour pastor out here has been game changer and
amazing.
Cause he's just so good at like pastoring in a way that's like, just a friend, like
that shepherding.
Yeah, exactly. And again, just wants to see the Lord move and that encouragement, you know, because sometimes as guys, we don't encourage as much as we should or receive it. So, man, just having good, solid dudes who love the Lord, who love their families, who, we're out here, but we're also excited to go home and, you know, hang out with our kids and do all that. And it's been really neat to see how the Lord has brought so much unity to the band. With Nate Dogg with us, and over the years, the healing after grief too, and you know, wake up in the morning, tour bus, and hug everyone, and all right, where do we make the coffee at? You know, let's go. Could we bring our little pour over setup, which I know you're a big coffee guy.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But yeah, coffee, Jesus, music. You know.
By the way, is that a song, Church on Wheels? Because if it's not, then maybe you need to
not yet, dude.
Tell them.
Nobody steal that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll get mowed out.
That's been copyrighted by Raul on this one.
Yes.
So now on the other side of that, what is venue wise, do you think has been one of the coolest venues that you've gotten to play at?
Red Rocks for sure. Yeah, that was
amazing.
That was neat. Yeah, I know that's probably a cliche answer, but man, it's
but I mean,
it's
consistent. You know, a lot of people consistently are just like, man, it's just an amazing experience. You know, so
it's
that's
surreal.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I would love to just go see a show there sometime. So.
Oh yeah, dude, it's special.
That's awesome. So somebody was telling me that you're not like right on site, that you have to kind of like, or maybe I was mishearing that, like the way that Red Rocks is, it's like kind of in the middle of nowhere. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty cool because, man, you're kind of in the middle of nature. I think that's it's the views. It is kind of surreal. It's kind of hard to process in the moment, but yeah, you know how they say like there's something very godly about nature, or just like this closeness you feel. Kind of get I see what they say. With a venue like that, that's like, man, only God could have created this,
right?
And that's pretty cool, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, now we'll hop into what a lot of people's favorite part of the episode is, and that is some gear talk.
Let's go.
So, first of all, what I'm going to attempt is everybody be patient with me, because this is my first attempt at being Josh without having the him here to help me. He's usually the person that's always doing the technical stuff. So nice. Let's see if I can get it to work here. Yes. Are you seeing that? All right.
Yep, I see it. Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's talk through your chain here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's changing constantly, but this is what I have currently.
Nice.
Which is probably stay for a little while. I'm gonna run you through the signal chain.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so going into the trusty old canvas tuner. From there, I go into the Union Labs and what's it called? The Union Labs and Transistor Deluxe, right?
Union
the
Tubes.
Labs.
Yep. Yeah.
Union Tubes and Transistor. Yeah. Dude, I love that compressor. It's killer.
Yeah.
So after that, I go into, which is underneath the board. It's the multi-buffer by Pinstripe Pedals.
Yeah.
And then one output, which has the Jensen transformer. I'm not sure if that's one or two, but that's wired to the side of my board.
Okay, yeah, that's number 2.
That's number 2, yeah. That thing sounds awesome. So that's wired to the side of my board to an XLR jack to has a clean line out.
Okay.
That I don't really advertise a ton unless it's for like sending tracks off or our front of house guy likes it. And Big Daddy Weave, but I trust him. You know, he knows what to do with it. But he uses 90% of my my pedal board channel for sure. And then so then it goes into, so that's split off there. But then after that, after the compressor, it goes microsynth. Yeah, microsynth. After the microsynth, I go into the OC2.
Okay.
But it's in a looper pedal.
Okay.
To keep it, sometimes that the octave, the OC2 stomp thing doesn't work all the time so well.
Yeah.
So I put it in its own
Boss.
Yeah, those old
Boss pedals. Yeah.
Yeah, and it keeps a true bypass too, which is cool.
Oh, cool.
I'm not sure if that matters or not, but somebody said it did in a Reddit forum or something like that.
Amazing.
So after OC2 goes into the Kilt B1, which I primarily use as a boost.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I occasionally use the fuzz on the other side.
Right.
That thing sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does.
So I just love the way the boost is so musical, the way it breaks up the tone hammer. It just kind of just pushes the tone hammer a little bit more. And so that's kind of like my first stage, I guess, you know.
Okay.
And then from there, I go after the Kilt, we go into the Walrus Ages, but that's within the Mosquito Blender pedal.
Okay, that's right above it.
Yeah, right above it. So it's in that loop because the blend on the Ages isn't very strong.
Okay.
So, dude, I'm basically running in parallel. So my clean is going through it all the time. And it sounds so much better like that.
Awesome.
So I have way more flexibility with the Ages. Because sometimes I felt like I would just lose a little too much low end. And that solves the issue so well. So I have it blended about 50% and dry all the way 100. So, dude, I've been loving that. Sounds awesome. And then from there, I go into the Dimension C chorus. It's like based off an old like 80s rack unit, which is, I love that thing.
That's cool.
It's subtle. But dude, it just kind of widens things up, and it really, it's not probably something you can really tell unless it's like a down moment or like really soloed out. But dude, I love that thing. And then my pedal that I hardly ever use, but it's nice to have for that more kind of weird ambient stuff. I'm a big Radiohead guy, so I love that. That pedal is so sick, and I love it for just quirky, just like out there. Producer wants something. It's like sometimes there's been some situations where like there's a lot more freedom to take up some space, and I was like, well, try this, and I just start playing some chords, and then like it kind of becomes part of the line. And for certain things, not everything, of course, but that gets used about 10% of the time. And then when I'm home, just vibing out or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
love it.
Yeah, tone hammer then goes into tone hammer, which is awesome. Tried a lot of stuff and I always come back to the tone hammer.
I know.
It just works, dude. Like,
yes.
It sounds like an amp to me. And
I know.
With the AGS. And it's just, man, it's great. The mids, the feel of it is killer. And then into my trusty old Noble, which I'm not pushing very hard because I already got a lot going on. So it just, how like in post, sometimes guys will use like R bass or some kind of like CLA bass or something to just kind of like give it a little bit more
harmonics.
Yeah. So I'm kind of treating the Noble like as the last. I just have the bass boost a little bit because it can get over, like if you both like, and I'm sure if you boost both of them too much, you can get into kind of scoop territory.
Yes. Yeah.
But I found just a little bit of that low end in my setup currently.
Yeah.
Works really well, and it gives it an even more like amp like sound. So
yeah. I totally definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and the mids are so present, sometimes aggressive in the tone hammer. So I feel like the Noble smooths it out pretty nice.
Yeah, because it's, to me, it's one of the best like clean sounding pedals out there.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you could turn your tone hammer off if you just wanted just like a super clean, DI and just the bass, and that would be perfect.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so nothing crazy, but I love it. It works for me.
Let me ask you this. I noticed that you don't have the HX Stomp on here anymore.
So
did you take a break from it? Or?
I love the HX Stomp. But dude, I sometimes nerd out on like that 1%. So I did a little A/B, and hopefully I don't get some flack for it, because all that disclaimer, I might put it back on. I don't know.
Right.
But I was like, I wonder what a full analog board does this sound better. And I did an A/B, and I can even send you the little clip later.
Oh, okay.
But I did it through the stomp and without the stomp. And the tone hammer reacted more like an amp without it. I can hear a little bit of the artifact. I don't know if it's in the conversion, the digital conversion or whatever.
Right.
And dude, here's the thing. Like, nobody out there is going to notice at all. That's why I'm like, I don't think it really matters. But I kind of want to say like, does it sound better without it?
Right.
And it did by a little bit.
But you know what? I feel like some of that, I'm going to see if I can close this off here. I kind of feel like, at least in my opinion, some of those things are more for like inspiration for yourself. That it's that we joked about it, with Ian. He said that it's that extra 10% that we're chasing, but I think that's just kind of the fun of being a musician and chasing sometimes after some of that tone, that extra 10%. But like you said, I mean, to me, and this is what I try to preach, like, man, people play what sounds good to your ears,
Yes,
you know, and
exactly.
what you enjoy,
Yep.
you know, no matter if it's what this person's playing, if you hear it and it sounds what the sound you're looking for,
Yes.
then play it, you know?
Absolutely. And, you know, for a long time, I was like, oh, I'm going to get all the pedals that, you know, and of course, like these are very common worship pedals, but that's mostly what I play is worship stuff.
Right.
Right. So but I've tried some stuff that other of my bass heroes like really works for them. And just in my hands, it just doesn't work. And
right.
And I'm like, well, let me just find the stuff that works for me, the stuff, you know, and I'm okay with not even being married to it for forever, but I loved like, dude, like I feel like, man, different sounds bring different things out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so, so this like little test I did with the HX Stomp on and off, dude, it's not even like, we're talking about 10%, but this is not even like probably even 2%.
Right.
In my studio, like I can hear it. But it doesn't really even matter because, man, the HX Stomp is incredible. Like I love that thing.
Yeah.
So I might go back on because you know, just.
But you know, it's even give another example is the pinstripe buffer. Totally. When I put that on my board, I could hear that like high end sparkle that was there that was not there when I was just trying to do a buffer through my, you know, tuner.
Yeah.
So
it's true. I heard it too. And that's why
it's very subtle, but it's something that's there that just kind of, you're like, oh, okay, I can hear just a very subtle. And then it just kind of, and that's why I feel like, you know, the Bethel guys always talk about, you know, it's a formula. Just like when you're making a recipe, you know, you put all these things together and overall it makes this, you know, this particular recipe, you know?
Yeah, dude. And I think formulas are great. I mean, you know, production stuff I do, I have my vocal chain, you know, I have my 2-bus, meaning because it works. And so, but then music is so vast too, you know, I'm actually, I'm doing this live recording for my friend TJ, who's an incredible black gospel, like fusion jazz guy. Dude, it's a whole different side of my brain that I'm like having to kind of go back to. But dude, like I have my player 2 P bass. I have the rest of my stuff. We just did a thing at Blackbird, and so I have most of my stuff in Nashville still because I didn't want to fly back with all of it. So I was like, you know, I was like, oh man, I wish I had my 5-string for this thing. I would, but dude, like going straight. Okay, well, I don't have that, but I'll just take the mantle, and that worked so well for that because it's fast, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas the Noble's slow and squishy, you know. Got the mantle, or even just a JDI, and you're like there. But dude, they were like, I was like, dang it, I'm sorry guys, I didn't bring my 5-string, and they're like, actually, this P bass is dope. Like, yeah, you have a thing with that. It's like you sound. Somebody said like you sound more like you on your P bass.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I might just, you know, because man, you know.
Speaking of P bass, which one is it that you had sent me? Is it the yellow, or the Sunburst?
Yeah, the Sunburst is my 72 P bass.
Pull that one.
And I wish I had a better picture of that, but man, that's old. That was inherited to me by my bass teacher, who passed a few years back. Remember in college, my Don Mundy, my professor, he always, man, I love this bass. And I told him, Don, I love you, man, but you're getting old. And if someday you put it in your heart, like put it on your will for me, dude, I just did it kind of like playing around. I feel bad now. But dude, he did it. He passed a few years ago and he put it on his will for me. And he left to know, he's like, I've always, you know, grateful that I have a student who's going to keep this thing going and play it as much as I did and probably even more and love it. And so that's my main guy in my 72P.
Yeah.
So that's super special. Yeah.
There's flat wounds that you have on it.
At the time, yeah. At the time,
Okay.
I do kind of go back with rounds and flats on this one for sure.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation, but
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me let's see, close that, and then let's go. I know you said you're 5 string, so I'll share that one.
Yeah, that's my. I think it's Pro 2 Jazz 5. All passive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I do have Lawlers on it, and it's
nice.
Yeah, it kills. It sounds so good. I love that thing. But I do gain it up on the compressor because it's a little lower output than the others. But yeah, dude, I love that thing. It's so versatile too. So that's fairly new. I've only had that for. I got it earlier this year. So yeah, but it's been great, man. I've played a lot, and so much stuff nowadays requires that low B, and so it's nice to have, But I am a 4-string guy for sure.
Yeah,
that's home for me.
Yeah, I'm the same. Definitely 4-string, but occasionally have to break out a 5. Let's see what else we got here. Patience.
Then we got that yellow P bass. That's been my trusty old Mexi P bass.
Amazing.
I got that back in like around pandemic time. I think Shea Wooden had one of those, and like, man, I want to be like him. And he used that bass on, I think it's Graves into Gardens and wherever Rattle was on, and man, I just love that tone. And dude, I think I paid $400 for this one.
That's awesome.
And this is the bass that kind of makes it on most things.
Really?
That just sits so well in the mix. Yeah, that and the 72
I was just going to say, does it have its everything original in it?
It's all original. Nothing's upgraded.
Oh,
on
nice.
This. Yeah. So, yeah, it just has a thing, man. It has a vibe to it that it's very classic sounding, but at the same time has a little bit of rock and roll too, which is really, and it's a slimmer neck, almost like a jazz neck, but kind of in between. So this is actually the first gig it's funny, I'm just noticing this. This is the first gig I ever did with Big Daddy Weave. This is that day. This is the bass I brought.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, that's
amazing.
Yeah. And
did you say that this?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So you were definitely changing stuff up.
Totally. I didn't mean to. Just like, this is what I got.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to go with what you got.
Yeah.
Well, did you say that this one you had to kind of gain up a little bit too?
Not this one. No, this one's pretty hot. Just the 5-string jazz. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is all stock, dude. It's
nice.
Sounds. I love this thing.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta show this one. You already know which one I'm about to show. Right there.
It's little old Raulito. That's what Hispanic moms or tias or aunts calls me, little Raulito. Yeah, that was me in high school. I was telling you, they somehow let me play electric bass in the marching band.
That's amazing.
And yeah, this is probably one of my it was my second bass that I saved up for a while. With my parents, really. 5-string Stingray 5. Yeah.
Amazing.
Dude, that bass is, man, I wish I still had that thing. It sounded so good, man. But yeah, back when we were doing all that like Spanish worship, fusion and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And a big reason I got a 5-string or Stingray in general, because you remember a Latin band called Salvador?
Yes.
Back in the day, there's this guy named the bass player Josh Gonzalez, killing bass player, Mexican too, just awesome dude. He played a 4-string though, a Stingray, and that tone just sliced through the whole mix, dude. He was so funky. He was almost like a Joe Dart of worship bass at the time.
That's amazing.
With Salvador, and I'm like, man, I got to get me but I need that 5-string. So, which is funny because after that, shortly after, when I started doing studio stuff, I showed up to the studio with my 5-string, and for whatever reason, the producer's like, man, it sounds, I think it sounds pretty good, but can you try this bass? And he handed me this old P bass, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's it. That's perfect. I'm like, dang it. So I think from that moment forward, I just started playing 4-string P basses because we talk about the formula because it just worked.
Yeah.
And that's what people were used to hearing, and they know how to mix.
It's true. It's so funny, like how many times you hear stories like that. I've heard Sean Hurley share that story. Same exact thing.
I'm sure it's pretty common, dude, because
Scott and Ian, I think both had the exact same
crazy
story too. Went into the studio, and I know Sean was like, he had this 5-string, like active bass, and everything. And he said the guy went over, and it was this like $200 beat up P bass. And he said, nice. I plugged it in and played, and he said, I was like, dang it, now I'm gonna have to get one of these.
Dude, that's so crazy.
It's just so funny.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Last one here. This is the old trusty Sub 37.
Yeah, this is a little Sub 37. That's my friend Berto. If you're in Nashville, this guy is an incredible drummer. Sorry to plug him in, but he's awesome. He just moved out there. He was at Life Church with me, and I miss that guy. But that's the Moog Sub 37 that I love.
Yeah.
I actually, I'm not really proficient on it, but I downloaded Bryce Vaughn's patches, and they work so well. I just tweaked the filter knob based on that, and dude, it's awesome. I love that thing. It just fills the room so nice on those down moments, and the just the spaces where it just needs to be kind of felt.
Yeah.
It's killer. And I probably could have got the 25, but I like the 37.
And actually, I think they discontinued the 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The 37 is now I think the only one. I don't know what their reasoning behind it was, but the Sub Fatty and the Sub 25 both got discontinued.
Really?
So it's pretty.
And I have the Sub Fatty here at church, and I love that thing too.
Oh,
different beast though. I feel like the 37 has a little bit more headroom. Where the Sub Fatty just it's vibier though. The Sub Fatty just kind of gets a little hairier quicker. But I feel like the fun, at least on the, I try to get the patches close, but I feel like the fundamental on the Sub Fatty is a little better, to be honest. But the wideness and I think not poofiness, but like the subbiness or whatever, is a little bit more pleasant on the Sub 37.
Yeah.
Different beast.
Well, completely different. I won't say completely different circuits, but definitely different circuits that both of them have. And you were saying, you downloaded the Bryce Vaughn.
Yeah, dude, that's my boy.
He's awesome. I love that dude. And for me, it's so funny. The patch that I use on my Sub 37 every single Sunday is one that Adam Kaiser created. So, nice. Adam's here in Nashville, and he has a Sub Fatty, and something broke with it, and he was like, it was out of commission, and he was like just about to go on tour, and I just texted him and was like, bro, just take mine. I was like,
awesome.
I don't need it. So when he did, he created like a patch and saved it on there. And nice. So now it's like AK or something like that is the name of the patch. And I was like, I'm just going to use that one all the time now.
Dude, you might have to share it, bro.
It's so funny. Yeah, I'll have to
hook it up.
Yeah.
A little snapshot.
I think actually with that, you can go hook it into the computer, and then you can pull the like a download of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just
That's
like
awesome.
where basically like you purchased the any kind of ones that people create out there. It's just basically that, and you just drag the file into it. So
That's cool.
yeah, but he just basically created what he used on his all the time. Yeah, so
that's awesome.
it was just funny. So awesome.
That.
Well, I love all that gear. That was just cool, especially because originally I had like tried to take a screenshot before I sent you a message. It's like, hey, do you think you could just send me some pictures so we can share them? And it was of the board like right before how this one is now.
Yeah.
So it still had the HX stomp. So when I first pulled it up, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is new.
Yeah. I get it.
So that's awesome.
Dude, you're like the fourth person. Like, where's your stomp? I'm like, hey, it's there. It's there. I mean, dude, I have the Fat Boy 2DI at home. I got the mantle. I got the stomp on there. I'm thinking about building a smaller board for these like one-offs. So I might utilize some of the. I'm thinking doing the Ian Martin
the mantle and
stomp.
HX stomp. Yeah.
I think that's the move.
Yeah, it really is. Especially like what he did is he's got a bunch of those like amp tones on there too.
Yeah, totally.
And so you could just totally have like a B15 running right into the mantle and it would just sound incredible. So
totally, man.
That's awesome. And it'd be like this big.
Totally. Yeah. I'm actually kind of thinking, I don't know about pull the trigger, but I've been thinking about that quad cortex too.
Oh yeah.
Just a standalone bass and
know.
I don't know. For just like, dude, I have to lug so much stuff from OKC to Nashville all the time.
Oh yeah.
And it's exhausting. So I'm like, man, if I had one thing, and I think it's, I have guys that I really look up to that love it. And some guys, they're like, it wasn't for me. So I'm like, dude, I think you can model your whole board now, apparently.
I know.
And, Bryce says like, bro, just bring it over up. Cause he's in Dallas just like 3.5 hours. He's like, bro, just come over. I'll help you model your whole thing. And so I'm thinking about taking him up on that. And,
yeah, he's so, I just love his heart and just
me too. Yeah.
He's just such, like you would expect. I mean, maybe you wouldn't. I was going to say you'd expect him to not be that way, but he's like just such a giving and gracious person.
He's a sweetheart.
I appreciate that so much about him.
Yeah.
Anytime I've messaged him, he's just immediately messaged me back. So.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Killer player too. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yeah. His vocabulary, like up high, is really what I always am like love, because it's almost that like kind of synth-ish sounds that he gets. That's the stuff I love.
Well, he has a background in all like black gospel stuff, like
right.
And so you can hear that in the way he phrases and approaches some of that, and I took some of that from my time. I played at this Kojic church, a black gospel church, for about maybe 2 years, where I just got my butt kicked, but I learned so much. And so, dude, like those guys, man, it almost sounds like they're playing like you're right, they're playing like synth bass on real bass, because they're like smoother, more connected lines. And so I can hear that in some of Bryce's playing. It's like, man, he has. It's a deep well for sure.
Yes, for sure. I love it. And the tone is just unprecedented. I keep saying it. I'm like, dude, just go ahead and accept the mantle of Tone Goat.
Yes,
because you are the Tone Goat.
He really is, dude. He really is.
Anyway, well, just kind of bringing things in for a landing here to do our rapid fire is a fun little exit thing that I like to do here. So rapid fire, flats or rounds?
Ooh, man, dude, I went through a 7-year period of just flats. Funny, right?
I love
when I was doing a lot of Motown stuff, James Jamerson, the GOAT.
Heck yeah.
But rounds 100% now. Yeah. Just, yeah.
What
so versatile.
is there a certain brand that's your go-to?
Yeah, I just use the D'Addario.
Oh, okay. NYXLs.
I use NYX. I did for a long time. Man, they're expensive.
Okay.
Even though we do get a pretty good deal with the band, I found out I like the NYXLs on my 5-string because there's a little bit more. They have like more mids, I feel like, than the normal ones.
Yeah.
And so it kind of helps bring the bass up like a little bit more forward with the NYXLs. And then I use the regular ones on my other 4-strings. Yeah.
Okay.
My key basses. The regular D'Addario. I used to use mediums, but I found like the regular light ones work a little better for me nowadays.
Okay.
So, but they're both, man. I do feel like the mediums on are just more rock for sure.
Oh, like for sure. Yeah. That's like what I have is the NYXLs and it's the mediums, but it's mainly what I wish I could have, which I don't think that you would have to buy like 2 packs of strings to do it. And that is I think it's like 50, maybe 50 and 80 on the so your 2, like the D and the G, I like those to be bigger and then the A and the E to be smaller, but you can't, there's no way, I don't think there is any way to do that. So, and still have the, the E to have like a 100.
Oh, I see.
And the A, I guess it would be an 80. And so then it's like 65, 50 or something like that. I can't remember the numbers.
Yeah, I get confused.
But essentially the mediums, have your 2 lower strings, that D and the G are a thicker string. And I kind of like that, especially when you're up high and you're trying to do some, melodic stuff, for it to have just a little bit more,
more body. Yeah.
Yeah. Body to it. To me, it sounds more like a bass.
Yeah.
Whereas if the strings are too thin, it starts to get away from like a bass sound to me, at least to my ears. So
yeah, no, I hear you on that for sure. But yeah, I found like the mids in the regular ones are a little bit more pleasing on some basses to me.
Cool.
Which is interesting because I hadn't.
Yeah.
I was doing NYXLs just because everybody else was, and I was like, okay, these are cool. But then I tried the regular ones because that's all, dude, I was on a whim and I went to Guitar Center and I was like, well, that's what they had. It's like, oh, yeah, this is like, make my drive sound a little like a tubier for some reason. It was weird. The mid-range, I've been finding the mid-range in bass is where it's at.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I'm sure with P basses are a little more mid-range friendly. And so if the strings then too have the mid-range, then you're like kind of, so if you have the ones, the other ones where maybe their mid-range isn't as forward, then it kind of maybe balances stuff out for the P to kind of sit where it needs to sit.
Oh, yeah. So that's the cool thing about the tone hammer too, just the mid control on there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's my favorite thing about it for sure. P bass or jazz bass?
P bass. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I love a good jazz bass. I love a good jazz.
Yeah, me too. Same. But yeah, P bass has always been my favorite. Like if I could only have one or the other, it'd be a P bass for sure.
Totally. Yeah.
Desert Island pedal.
Ooh. Dang. That's tough. Man, I'm gonna have to go Noble. I'm gonna have to go Noble just because that's, man, it's so like you said, it's clean, right? Like it just, dude, it does something to, it's like the image is so wide,
yes.
It's somehow, and it kind of just pushes the bass back in the mix just a hair. Whereas like the mantle is just like more right here in your face.
Right.
It's a little bit more narrow, but man, and I just found like the Noble, I just feel like it's hugging. feels like a hug sometimes. In the best way. Even with no EQ on, it's just
just flat. It just sounds,
Jack Roan definitely has something special.
I know. Yeah, for sure. Favorite bassist?
Oh, dude, that's hard. Oh, dude. Again, I don't want to be cliche, but man, Pino's the GOAT for me.
Yeah.
Pino Palladino. Just.
Dude, like one of my favorite like videos when I'm just like, oh, let me just watch some random music is to go back and watch that 3-piece with him, John Mayer.
On the continuum thing?
Yes. Where it's just the three. Yeah, the three of them live. It's just, oh my goodness.
Yes.
It's just.
I watched that so many times.
Dude. And it's incredible. Just 3-piece band and for it to sound that good.
Dude, yeah. And he's just incredibly versatile too. And sounds so authentic in everything he does. Like I studied the stuff from way back in the day with like D'Angelo on that Voodoo record, and just that's a whole that record's a whole masterclass in itself. I mean, everything like
his palm muting and dude, it's just like
totally.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's a big reason why I love the OC2. He just it makes that thing snag, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, 9 Inch Nails, all kinds of stuff he's done.
I know.
You know, he's just his fretless work is just, man.
Oh yeah.
Pino's a GOAT. Yep.
I love that.
I've studied the most for sure.
That's awesome. Favorite coffee of choice?
Ooh, man, I just love me a good like Ethiopian pour over. That's my go-to.
Nice.
Yep.
Love it. Let's see. Favorite coffee shop?
Oh, dude, there's so many. Because I've been to a lot across the country.
That's why I love, especially talking to the guys that are on tour to like say, hey, what's a favorite, you know, just so people, you know, might be in that city and go, oh, I'm going to go try that.
Yeah. Dude, I think my favorite's here in OKC. I think Nashville has one though, because they have so many different selections, and it feels like you're like in a different, feels like you're in LA or something, but it's called Stitch.
Okay.
Which I think you guys have a Stitch now.
We might. If we do, it's probably in Nashville and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, dude, but they bring in like all these beans from all over the country, and man, I mean, they're all very expensive. Like at least, like they start at like 28 or 30 bucks a bag, right? But man, and they make their own like Clark's, I think is what it's called. But dude, they you can find incredible breakfast tacos there. They make these homemade Pop-Tarts, like savory and sweet, and just like it feels like a date night or date day spot.
Amazing.
It's awesome. So you're ever in OKC, it's called Stitch.
Okay.
A little pricey, but it's so good, man. You love it.
I'll also have to look and see if that is here.
Yeah. Because I think it was the Gulch area we were at. We ate at this place called like San Sushi or Sushi San or something. Yeah. It was awesome. Aaron recommended it to us. And we found this, I think we were driving by and we saw Stitch. I was like, oh, I didn't know they had a Stitch here. So you should go check it out, dude. You would love it. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, what's some currently music that you're listening to?
Dude, it's, if I'm not having to learn it, it's always Radiohead and William Augusto. Which William Augusto is more like a ambient music.
Okay.
It kind of really it's more like there's not a lot going on, just like pads and ambient, and maybe a little piano, but it's man, I found that it's it really helps me get in the presence of the Lord in a really, like, whether I'm
Nice.
like walking or in the sauna or something. I just feel like when I put that music on, it's just like, for some reason, I just feel closer to God. And I just start talking to him. So
Yeah.
I used to think like prayer was just like this is very kind of regimented kind of thing. And then, I got to go kneel down somewhere. But dude, I found
Sure.
like I've talked to the Lord a lot more when I put this music on, because it makes us, for some reason, I don't know what's in it, but
Yeah.
it's just it just really helps connect, and just kind of it kind of drowns out some of the noise, and it just helps me to be just like, all right, God, it's me again, and here's what's going on. And it's kind of really created more of like a friendship with the Lord. And
Yeah.
William Augusto, so I highly
I'll have to check
recommend you
that
guys check
out.
him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And then Radiohead, because it's so it's like music kind of with no rules. It's
Yes.
man, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. All these like dense melodies and beautiful soundscapes, and sometimes eeriness, and
Yeah.
everything's kind of, the drums kind of just stay, and things built around that. Whereas most music, and you hear drums dynamically, kind of take it. But no, in this groove just kind of stays there, and just it's beautiful to see all the textures always interweaving in and out. The vocals too. There's sometimes where it's just like the vocals not even very hot in the mix. It's just the guitar. It's beautiful. I think I've played in so many situations where there's so many rules and this box.
Yeah.
And it's great. I'm grateful. But I feel like Radiohead just kind of breaks all of that. And it's fun, and it's, I love it. Yeah. Colin Greenwood,
And I think Colin, the other thing that's great about him is just his inspiration as far as bass sounds, because so much of it is like, you think in that rock world that it's just supposed to be, plugging into an SVT and that's it kind of thing. But like for him to bring fuzzes and delays and all these extra things in,
totally,
just creating, something that's different than what you would normally hear, I think is great. And it's definitely inspiring.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's how, so much of worship has happened the way that it has, being inspired from, bands like U2,
totally,
and everything that they've done on guitar, that the Edge has done on guitar, and how much that inspired, sounds today. So,
100%.
Yeah, that's why I like to, I'm a huge fan of that. So in the Beatles group that I was playing in, the guys there, they would all the time, when we were be on the road doing a little, Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend trip of gigs, that was like the band that we would always put on for like our getting on the road music.
Yeah, dude.
So
man, it's fun. And sometimes you hear him through the SVT, and sometimes you can tell with the fuzzes, man, this sounds like he just went straight into the console.
Right.
And it's just, it's cool how like they
experimented.
They experiment, and it's, it feels real. And I think in such like an AI driven world, it's like,
I know.
It's even more special, I think. Just it's like these dudes are just creating some pretty inspiring stuff, and and even like some of the vocal tuning, you can there's no vocal tuning, and this is awesome. It just feels really real to me, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, closing out here, just wanted to ask you, what is some advice that you would give to somebody? Maybe they're just wanting to get into playing worship, or maybe they're new to playing worship. And what kind of advice would you give?
Yeah. That's great. I would, maybe telling my younger self is like, seek out the people in your community who are doing it, and take them out to coffee or buy them lunch, ask questions. I think be curious, take that step, like for me, if I hadn't just said, what the heck, the worst thing they could say is no.
Right.
Like I wouldn't, I don't know if I'd be talking to you right now. So like whatever's in your heart, I mean, obviously you got to work hard. You got to really love your craft and you got to put the time in, there's something about reps, right? Those 10,000 hours or whatever. But man, a musician in our world, it's like, everybody's journey is so different.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I'm grateful for my story. It's very unique, but man, I wouldn't change a thing about it. Like the door to door,
right,
dude. Like that was really, really tough. And I'm grateful that, man, I had a wife who just said, "I believe in you. Keep going." Had people in my life speaking into me, who are like, "Hey, I believe in you. Come back. Like, let's give it another shot. Let's go. Like, get back up." And so I think having a strong community is so crucial, and not giving up really, because there's going to be times where it's easy. You're going to want to give up and you're going to think it's even the right thing. But keep going, because hard work does pay off. And sometimes, most of the time, it's not even all about talent, because bro, I think I'm a decent bass player, but I'm not with Big Daddy Weave because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
It was all a relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to look back and just to, man, 11 years later, after meeting Big Daddy Weave, that I would be carrying Jay's legacy is, man, it's only God. It's only Jesus. But so many, man, the enemy try to kill that dream time and time again through various different things. But you keep working. So, and even now, I would say, even the guys who are working, there's going to be stuff that falls through. There's going to be opportunities to fall flat, and that's where you gotta, again, come back to the, man, full dependency on Jesus, getting back to that. And he's going to have to carry you through some of it. But man, he's always there. Like, if anything, we're the ones who kind of retract at times, but he's always there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, work hard, surround yourself with people who are doing it, ask questions, take a lesson from the best bass player in your town. You never know. I've done that before. You know what I'm saying? And I did that once too, where, a few years later, he asked me to fill in for a gig for him. And dude, just so many opportunities opened up from that. And it's just amazing how, dude, relationships are almost everything. So, don't burn any bridges,
Right.
Don't burn bridges. It's easy to, and don't take yourself too seriously either. Cause, it again, you're going to make mistakes. You can do this, but like, man, it's how you get back up. It's, people aren't going to remember you for how good you played. Again, like J-Dog, incredible player, but man, I remember how he made me feel.
Yeah.
And he made me feel like seen. He made me feel like I could do it.
Right.
And look at God, like I'm doing it, like all because of him. And I'm able to share, like, man, the goodness of God and all of that, the journey, as messy as it is, and just say, yeah, thank you, Jesus. And thank you, God, for putting these people in my life to speak into me. And at some point, because we're going to be in that situation at some point where we can speak into other people.
Right.
And man, that's so rewarding too. Where we can encourage that younger bass players, like, hey, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yep.
Like, God is so good. And so that's kind of what I probably would say to maybe my younger self, or somebody coming up in worship teams. And remember your role, and don't make it all about, you know, it's easy when you're young to make it about yourself and stuff, and there's, I think there's a confidence that is healthy, but man, remember you're working with the team. You're working with a team that is all, remember what let's keep Jesus the main thing and love each other doing it. Because bro, like if you have or if you have like some kind of nasty relationships within your team, that's going to come across on the stage too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so like, and then that chemistry. Yeah, exactly. And so, man, love the people you're around, and remember that, man, how you treat people matters.
Yeah. Dude, I love that so much. And that's one of the things I love about this community, you know, the bass community, worship community, is just kind of how we've, you know, like the friendships that I've made through this, you know, getting to do this podcast has been amazing. Like, you know, Miguel has been one of them. Juan has been another one. I mean, there's been like so many people that, like, you know, have my number and will text me, you know.
That's awesome, dude.
And I like, now I, you know, here, there, all the way in Texas or all the way in, you know, Wisconsin, and, you know, and to have those relationships has been one of my favorite things that have come out of, you know, doing this. And so just to piggyback on what you're saying, I completely like those friendships, you know. In fact, you know, Matt Reynolds, who's the episode that just dropped today, we titled his "Why Community Makes Us Better."
That's awesome.
And it's so true. It's just, you know, your community, and especially like within a worship team, you know, how important that is. And those, like you said, those friendships that you're going to make that are going to be lifelong, you know? So dude, thank you so much for coming on. I loved getting to hear those stories, that you shared, especially like just how, you know, God, if anything, God taught you perseverance. You know, just hearing your story is amazing. You know, like you said, not to give up. It would have been so easy for you to give up at any time and to just, you know, go back to doing something else. But the fact that you know, just said, hey, Lord, I'm just going to keep moving forward. So I love hearing that.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. No, I'm grateful too. One thing I left out real quick was I signed, I got a job as a disaster case manager when I during those years after Life Church, trying to figure things out. And dude, I was like deployed for 3 months as a disaster, trying to help people out. There was this, like hurricanes, tornadoes, these hurricanes that happened, and a lot of people were displaced. And dude, I was like, I don't know how to do any of this. I've never been away from my family ever, unless I was out playing music or something.
Yeah.
And dude, like it was like 12-hour days, but I was making good money, but I was away from my family. And I remember breaking down in the bathroom, because you have to, dude, it's kind of like military. Like you got to ask for permission to go to the bathroom and all that. It was crazy. And I remember breaking down in the bathroom floor and asking God, why? Like, did I hear you wrong? Was I not supposed to leave? What's going on? Like, where are you? And dude, I was broken. I remember.
Yeah.
But I was able to relate with those people who had just lost their homes, who couldn't find their husband, who couldn't find their kids, who just needed groceries. And because of the politics, I wasn't able to really help much. It was just really sad. But I was able, like, the Lord put me in that season to, well, I can't really help you, but I can pray for you. And I have a God who hears you, and he's gonna carry you through this. And so most of the time I was just praying for people on the phone, even though I wasn't supposed to do that. Who would have thought a few months down the road, we would move to California, and then I'd become an MD shortly after that and step into a pastoral role where
right.
man, God was preparing me the whole time for that.
Yes.
So all that to say is, yeah, exactly. You know, and like God doesn't waste anything.
Right.
So he uses all of it. So even if you're in a situation like me where, you know, you get fired from a gig or whatever, you know, and you're working at McDonald's, whatever, it's part of your story.
Right.
And God doesn't waste anything. And just keep going, you know, don't give up. So
I love it.
Yeah. Just want to throw that in there because I'm like, man, it's not a linear. It's never linear, dude. So yeah,
right,
don't give up.
For sure.
Don't give up. Keep going.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna on the YouTube page, I'm gonna put your links in there. So that way if people want to be able to follow you and then maybe they want to send you a DM and ask you a gear question or what you think of something.
Sure.
So I'll put all that in there. And then again, thanks for coming on. And with all of that, I will let you get going. I appreciate how long you stayed on.
Oh, dude, sorry. I can talk, man.
Oh no, I'm here for it all the time. I'm always like, okay, is this okay for them to their like time wise? Like I'm always trying to be mindful of everybody else's time, but I'm like, hey, I'm here for it. I think I was talking about the other day. I think the one with Jordan Ray Landers, ended up being almost 4 hours.
No way.
And but so I made it into a 2-parter, like a part 1, part 2. So that was because I was like, there's no way I can. And he was like, bro, I'm so sorry I talked too much. I was like, dude, I was here for all of it.
Yeah, dude. That's
so
awesome.
I was like,
anyway, thanks for having me, man. You've had some of my heroes on here, some legends, and bro, I'm honored you would even consider me to jump on here. And
dude, I love it.
This has been so good, and I've loved every moment of it. Thank you, Jay.
Dude, I'm thankful. You. And definitely sometime when you are in town, we'll have to get some coffee and hang out for a little bit. Or if y'all are playing a show here, I'll have to come. So
absolutely, dude.
That would be awesome. Heck yeah.
Awesome, Jay.
Awesome. Well, cool, man. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you later.
All right, Jay. Take care, bro. Later.
And welcome back to the Worship Based Coffee Studios. That was such a great episode, and I'm so thankful for Rowdy coming on here. Really enjoyed getting to hear his story and also just getting to hear his story about perseverance. I just think what a great example in life to not have the best things going your way, but just, you know what, keep moving forward. One of the things that I've always given as an example is like working out. If you've ever done worked out before, if you don't know this, but when you're actually lifting weights and you're doing things, your muscle actually tears itself, and then your blood later repairs it, and that's how it gets bigger, gets stronger. And I think that's kind of like what made me think about with his story, some of the really tough things that he went through that, kind of tore that muscle, but then made it stronger for later. His spirit, his connection to God, all of that, might have been really torn at one point, but the way that God used it to make him stronger and to put him where he is now on the platform is just an amazing story. And so I'm so glad that he got to share that. It was so cool getting to hang out with him. Transitioning to our music spotlight, there's a band that I just recently discovered called Chasing the Light. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not. They're actually a Christian band. Been around for a little bit, and just recently discovered them myself. Really enjoyed it. It's something fresh if you're looking for something. I believe they're probably classified like kind of indie, but it's a Christian band, which is great. So anyway, so check that out. Also remember to check out the Worship Based Coffee shop. It is let's start that over. worshipbasedcoffee.myspreadshop.com. Check it out. We got all kinds of t-shirts, hats, mugs, all that kind of stuff on there. And I think you all would enjoy it, and you can help me and Josh rep this stuff to spread the word. That's really what it's more about. And also, speaking of, I've had some people reach out and ask me about the official worship-based coffee hats. We will be doing another order or batch order of those in the fall. Probably, I would say October-ish. We'll be doing that. So keep your eyes posted. Listen, if you're wanting to get in on one this time, you can do that. So anyway, with all that said, thank you again, Rowdy, for coming on. Josh, I'll see you on the next one. And you guys will say goodbye on this episode like we do every week. Or not every week, but every time. And that is to say, remember to tell someone you love that you love them, and we'll see you next time.